All right, well, we're here at Tower Auditorium at Mass Art. I'm sitting on the set of Romeo and Juliet, a company called Shakespeare Now. I've just composed the sound design music on the set using some of these instruments. And we just had our first audience. It went very well. And I thought I'd use the set and the setting for Act 2, Scene 2 of Edward III. This is right where Juliet died, so it's again, York is right at home. And not to mention, but it's Halloween today, so it's York's favorite day of the year. Again, he commented, but he has no lower jaw. Act 2, Scene 2. Enter at one door, Darby from France, and at another door, Audley with a drum. Thrice noble Audley, well encountered here. How is it with our sovereign and his peers? 'Tis full a fortnight since I saw his highness, what time he sent me forth to muster men, which I accordingly have done, and bring them hither in fair array before his majesty. What news, my lord of Derby, from the emperor? As good as we desire. The emperor hath yielded to his highness friendly aid, and makes our king lieutenant general in all his lands, large dominions, that via the spacious bounds of France.
All done?
What, doth his highness leave to hear these news? I have not yet found time to open them. The king is in his closet, malcontent, for what I know not, but he gave in charge till after dinner none should interrupt him. The Countess Salisbury and her father Warwick, Artois, and all look underneath the brows. Undoubtedly, then something is amiss. Trumpet within. The trumpet sound. The king is now abroad. Here comes his highness.
I thought you said you were going to sweep.
Befall my sovereign all my sovereign's wish. Ah, that thou wert a witch to make it so. But the emperor greeteth you, would it were the countess, and hath accorded to your highness' suit. Thou liest, she hath not, but I would she had. All love and duty to my lord the king. Well, all but one is none. What news with you? I have my liege levied thou horse and foot, according as your charge, and brought them hither. Then let those foot trudge hence upon those horse, according to our discharge, and be gone. Darby, I'll look upon my countess' mind anon. The countess' mind, my liege? I mean the emperor. Leave me alone. What's in his mind? Let's leave him to his humor. Yes. Thus from the heart's abundance speaks the tongue. Countess for emperor, and indeed, why not? She is as imperator over me, and I to her, as I am a kneeling vessel that observes the pleasure or displeasure of her eye. And to Ludwig. What says the more than Cleopatra's match to Caesar now? That yet my liege ere night, she will resolve your majesty. Drum within. What drum is this that thunders forth this march to start the tender Cupid in my bosom? Poor sheepskin, how it brawls with him that beateth it. Go break the thundering parchment bottom out, and I will teach it to conduct sweet lines into the bosom of a heavenly nymph, for I will use it as my writing paper, and so reduce him from a scolding drum to be the herald and dear counsel bearer betwixt a goddess and a mighty king. Go bid the drummer learn to touch the lute, or hang him in the braces of a drum. For now we think it an uncivil thing to trouble heaven with such harsh resounds. Away. The quarrel that I have requires no arms, for these of mine, and these shall meet my foe in a deep march of penetrable groans. Yeah, those are mine. That's mine. Thank you. My shall be my arrows, and my side shall serve me as the vantage of the wind, to whirl away my sweetest artillery. But alas, she wins the son of me. For that is she herself, and thence it comes, that poets turn the wanton warrior blind. But love hath eyes as judgment to his steps, till too much love and glory dazzles them. How now? To Ludwig. My liege, the drum that strokes the lusty march sounds with Prince Edward, your thrice valiant son. Enter Prince Edward. You guys can make me move. Shall I stand up? Okay. Enter Prince Edward. I see the boy. Oh, how his mother's face, modeled in his, corrects my stray desire, and rates my heart, and chides my thievish eye. For being rich enough in seeing her, yet seeks elsewhere, basest theft is that which cannot cloak itself on poverty. Now, boy, what news? I have assembled, my dear lord and father, the choicest buds of all our English blood for our affairs to France, and here we come to take direction from your majesty. So do I see in him delineate his mother's visage, those his eyes on hers, who looking wistily on me make me blush, for faults against themselves give evidence. Lust is a fire, and men like lanthorns show light lust within themselves, even through themselves. Away, loose silks of wavering vanity! Shall the large limit of fair Bretagne by me be overthrown, and shall I not master this little mansion of myself? Give me an armor of eternal steel. I go to conquer kings, and shall I not then subdue myself and be my enemy's friend? It must not be. Come, boy, forward, advance. Let's with our colors sweet the air of France. And to Ludwig. My liege, the Countess with a smiling cheer desires access unto your majesty. Why, there it goes, the very smile of hers. Hath ransomed captive France, and set the king, the dauphin, and the peers at liberty. Go lead me, Ned, and revel with thy friends. Exit, prince. Thy mother is but black, and thou, like her, dost put it in my mind how foul she is. Go fetch the countess hither in thy hand, and let her chase away these winter clouds, for she gives beauty both to heaven and earth. The sin is more to have to hew poor men than to embrace in a lawful bed. The register of all rarities, since leathern Adam till his youngest hour.
Finished already?
Huh?
Go, Ludwig, put thy hand into thy purse. Play, spend, give, riot, waste, do what thou wilt, so thou wilt hence a while and leave me here. Now, my poor soul's playfellow, art thou come to speak the more than heavenly word of yea to my objection in thy beauteous love? My father, on his blessing, hath commanded that thou shalt yield to me.
How you doing?
Aye, dear my liege, your due. And that, my dearest love, can be no less than right for right and render love for love, than wrong for wrong and endless hate for hate. But sith I see your majesty so bent that my unwillingness, my husband's love, your high estate, or no respect respected, can be my help, but that your mightiness will overbear and awe these dear regards, I bind my discontent to my content. And what I would not, I'll compel, I will. Provided that yourself remove those lets that stand between your highness' love and mine. Name them, fair countess, and by heaven I will. It is their lives that stand between our love, that I would have choked up, my sovereign. Whose lives, my lady? My thrice loving liege, your queen. And Salisbury, my wedded husband, who living have that title in our love that we cannot bestow but by their death. The opposition is beyond our law. So is your desire. If the law can hinder you to execute the one, let it forbid you to attempt the other. I cannot think you love me as you say unless you do make good what you have sworn. No more. Thy husband and the queen shall die. Fairer thou art by far than Hero was. Beardless Leander, not so strong as I. He swam an easy current for his love, but I will through a hellish pond of blood to arrive at Cestus where my hero lies. Nay, you'll do more, you'll make the river too, but there are their heart bloods that keep our love asunder, for which my husband and your wife are twain. Thy beauty makes them guilty of their death, and gives in evidence that they shall die, upon which verdict I, their judge, condemn them. O perjured beauty, more corrupted judge! But to the great star chamber o'er our heads the universal sessions calls to count this packing evil. We both shall tremble for it. What says my fair love? Is she resolved? Resolved to be dissolved, and therefore this. Keep up thy word, great king, and I am thine. Stand where thou dost, I'll part a little from thee, and see how I will yield me to thy hands. Here by my side doth hang my wedding knives. Take thou the one, and with it kill thy queen, and learn by me to find her where she lies, and with this other I'll dispatch my love, which now lies fast asleep within my heart. When they are gone, then I'll consent to love. Stir not, lascivious king, to hinder me. My resolution is more nimbler far than thy prevention can be in thy rescue. And if thou stir, I strike. Therefore stand still, and hear the choice that I will put thee to. Either swear to leave thy most unholy suit, and never henceforth to solicit me, or else by heaven this sharp-pointed knife shall stain thy earth with that which thou wouldst stain, my poor chaste blood. Swear, Edward, swear, or I will strike and die before thee here. Even by the power I swear that gives me now the power to be ashamed of myself. I never mean to part my lips again in any words that tends to such a suit. Arise, true English lady, whom our isle may better boast of than may better boast than ever Roman might of her, whose ransacked treasury hath tasked the vain endeavor of so many pens. Arise, and be my fault thy honor's fame, which after ages shall enrich thee with. I am awakened from this idle dream. Warwick, my son Darby, Artois, and Audley, brave warriors all, where are you all this while? Enter all. Warwick, I make thee warden of the north, thou, Prince of Wales, and Audley, straight to sea. Scour to New Haven, some there stay for me. Myself, Artois, and Darby will to Flanders to greet our friends there and to crave their aid. This night will scarce suffice me to discover my folly's siege against a faithful lover. For ere the sun shall gild the eastern sky, we'll wake him with our martial harmony. Wow. Another great scene. Oh, I see the set has changed.